In this video I want to talk about the lazy investor. Now, are you a lazy investor? You definitely won't want to be a lazy investor after watching this video, and if you stay at the end I'm going to run through an example where I'll show you how you're actually leaving mind-blowing amounts of money on the table by being a lazy investor. Okay, so with that said, let's get into it. So what makes a lazy investor? Okay, a lazy investor is someone who's buying at retail price. They're adding no value and not recycling any of the money. Often buying because they just like the area, and maybe it's close to home and it's convenient. Maybe they're purchasing it off a family or a friend, or they know someone who's selling the house, so they think, oh, you know, that'd be easy, I'll buy that off them. They're buying no due diligence with no numbers. So why is this? It's often for two reasons. They lack the knowledge or they lack the time. So what happens? A lazy investment, a bad investment, or no investment at all. But we want to invest in property, because why wouldn't you want to invest in property? You know, you want to have more choices, you want to have a secure future for your kids, maybe grandchildren, for your retirement. You know, you want to reduce your hours at work, all the reasons why people want to get into property. Let's get into a solution-based mindset. Let's get the most for our money, let's make smart investments. So how do we do that? So we simply just get the knowledge. How do we get the knowledge? Books, attend to networking events, you know, just get around other property investors. Tons of stuff out there now on YouTube and things like this. Speak to people, you know, just ask them for tips, advice. It doesn't take no time to just send a message to someone, send an email, and just generally get the ball rolling and get going. But if time's your problem, you work with a property business. Now, the people who I normally work with have normally got work commitments, business commitments, family commitments, maybe they work away. Like I said, they want the benefits of property, they want that additional income so they can reduce the hours at work. They're trying to secure the family's future. What you're doing here is you're leveraging the time from a property business. If you're going to work with a property business, make sure they've got a track record. Speak with people who've worked with them. Ask about other projects. Can you go and see projects that they've got on currently? Things like that. Okay guys, so now we have the solutions for getting away from being a lazy investor and making lazy investments, bad investments, or no investments at all. I want to run you through an example of how you're leaving so much money on the table by being a lazy investor, and after watching this you'll definitely not want to be a lazy investor and do these things. Okay, so let's get into it. With this example, the message is that an investor who knows what they're doing will get twice as much from the money as a lazy investor. So let me run you through it. So this lazy investor's bought at retail price. They've added no value, recycled none of the money. They've bought from a friend, family, which they like the area or it's close to home. Whatever the reasons are, they've bought it. Okay, so we put a standard 25% deposit down, so £25,000 down, and we get a mortgage for the rest. We pay our fees, stamp duty, solicitors, mortgage broker, so we're all in for £30,000. So this £100,000 house has cost the lazy investor £30,000, right? But if the lazy investor's at least done it half right, and they'll be making profit. Now, an average buy-to-let profit's £250 a month, which is £3,000 a year. Like I said, the message here is it's not unrealistic for an investor who knows what they're doing to get at least twice the amount of property for the money than the lazy investor would. So the investor who knows what they're doing, the same £30,000 is going to get us £200,000 houses. So we're going to get £200,000 worth of houses, and we're also going to be making twice the amount of profit. So you can see there, £3,000 profit straight away just by knowing what you're doing. If we fast forward 20 years time, let's work on the assumption that the property is doubled. Okay, so in real life it might have went up by 50%, 70%, it might have tripled. It might take 25 years, 30 years, but the idea. The lazy investor, their house has doubled, so it's worth £200,000 now. They pay off the £75,000 mortgage. Okay, so they've got £125,000 in equity. They've been making £3,000 a year, if they've done it right, for 20 years, so they've got £60,000 worth of cash. So the total asset is £185,000 split between equity and cash. But the investor who knows what they're doing, they've still spent that £30,000, but they've got £200,000 worth of houses, which have doubled. So they've got £400,000 worth of houses. They pay off the mortgage for £150,000, so £75,000 per property. So they've got £250,000 in equity. They've been making £6,000 a year for 20 years, and they've got £120,000 in cash. So the total asset, £370,000 worth of assets between cash and equity. This is £185,000 different to the lazy investor. Get it back to why you're doing it. You're doing it so you can have more money, to have more choices, to secure your retirement, to your children's future, and this is why you're leaving so much money on the table, and you do not want to be a lazy investor. So I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's provided a little bit of motivation, maybe a bit of inspiration even, to don't be the lazy investor, how you can get away from being the lazy investor. So if you have any comments, drop them in the comments box, message me directly. I'd love to help in any way that I can. If you want me to cover any specific topics, just let me know, and that said, I'll see you in the next one.